Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. A brief update on situations that's going on throughout the world. Justice for Mario Woods, Hip Hop for Justice is definitely spearheading the campaign to bring justice to a young man who was shot in a barrage of bullets in San Francisco by the police, and the young man had his hands down to his side, didn't pose a threat because he made no lunging motions, he made no gestures as though that I'm going to harm these officers. From my opinion and what I've seen is that the young brother froze. He was in disarray. They're yelling at him. The moment seemed surreal to him, and due to that, they gunned him down as though he was non-human. I believe personally that there was a lack of care and concern for that individual, meaning that they did not see him as their equal, and they did not see him as someone who deserved to live. So that made them the judge and the jury and the executioner all in one in a wolf pack style shooting that took out this young brother. So for those of you who are not abreast with this situation that's currently been going on for a year and some days now, you can go to YouTube, Mario Woods killing, and you can see it for yourselves, and you can tell others, post it through your social media sites or whatnot, or whatever, which ones you may have, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, but get the word out. And the reason being is we don't want to set a tone for this activity to continue where they do not regard the sacred life of black people, and we're so easily snuffed out by the hands of someone who has definitely shown us that there are our enemies by the actions that they do towards us, which leads us to believe that we have to fight for justice even harder, especially if you love yourself. You definitely want to enjoy this life that the Creator gave you, and you don't want to be hounded. You don't want to be falsely accused. You do not want to be mocked at. You do not want to be thrown in a jail or the dungeon because off of someone else's judgment. Meaning, you don't want to be in a position to where they look at you and judge you out of their own mind, and then they want to create the punishment that they see fit for you because they don't see the value in you, but you see the value in yourselves, and others see the value in you. So you take a stand and say, I would not let you treat me other than what God created me to be, or I would not let you treat me other than what is the 99 attributes of Allah. Anything less than that, you will have a problem. And that's the stance. Now, listening to Brother Farrakhan, and now we're on the topic of speaking, he stated that he learned Latin in high school, which prepared him to master the English language because the minister has mastered that language. And when you're doing business and trade, English is the language of business and trade, and it is a language that needs to be mastered because you will have more success, especially if you speak well. Now, it took me And it's taken me quite a bit of time to master this English language, since it's not the language of my forefathers. And I'm also learning a little bit of Arabic, but the English language, and I've said this to myself over past years, is I have to do better, and especially speaking in front of people, audiences, to get the message over plain and clear. But growing up, that was never a priority, let's say, in the school system, meaning that there was no class that was set aside that made you master the English language in public school, to where etymologies of words was not introduced to us. Let's say that. What else? We went over pronunciation, but we didn't go over the definition and the purpose and reason on why words are spoken in a certain manner to deliver a certain effect. We didn't study the vibrational pitch in words and tone in public school, and all of that goes to help you be a better speaker, but also helps you to deliver your message, or what ideals that you like to share with others. You can deliver it in a way to where, okay, the instructions is clear, and that leads to lack of mistakes. Clear instructions. So, yeah, me personally, I'm learning every day. Now I've mastered slang coming up in school. I can speak slang in my sleep, And then when they were trying to put out Ebonics, trying to make that a form or of language to speak with, hell, I could have walked in and got a degree in that. That was the language that's circulated throughout where I stayed. And so, as an adult now, I'm understanding the importance of speaking clearly. I'm understanding the benefit, the economic benefits as well, and the growth in the individual alone. So definitely, for all you young people out there that's listening, make sure follow the brother Minister Farrakhan's instructions and master this English language. It will be a benefit to you and for you in all of your affairs leading up into the future, as you go out into the world and you deal. Take that tool along with you in speaking properly and speaking proper English. That will be that'll be another arsenal in your weaponry of reviving, standing strong, and rebuilding self and community. You'll find that to be valuable as you move forward. Now, Mr. Scott, they decided not to charge the officer, and I believe his name was Slager. I believe early in the morning I'm gathering all my thoughts, but one black female, all white jury. One of the family members had stated a while back that it didn't matter the color of the jurors that he felt that just by watching that video, he stated that he felt that anyone who watched that video would do the right thing and come back with a guilty verdict on that officer who shot Mr. Scott in the back as Mr. Scott was fleeing from that officer, because it's that intuition, it's that spirit, it's that in something inside of you as a black man that tells you and let me explain now how they view it for their own benefit. When you say, well, there was a force inside of me that told me that I should flee because this individual, I believe, is going to do me harm. In their court of law, especially if they haven't experienced that, then it's a non-issue. It's not reality, and so they won't take that into account. So we know as a fact that you in front of a white officer, and especially we don't know all the words that officer spewed at Mr. Scott, but we do know that Mr. Scott knew he had to get out of there for his life because he felt that officer was going to shoot him anyway. Self-preservation. He was trying to save himself. And the officer had his driver's license. So that means you could have picked him up later. Everybody could have went home safely if you had a concern, or if you saw that life in front of you as being valued by not only by himself but by his family and loved ones, friends. You didn't see him that way, so it's easy for you to pop him in the back, shoot the man in the back. Hey, in your perspective, I'm shooting a non-human from the officer's mindset. So the family of Mr. Scott, who was brutally shot in the back by a white officer, said that these jurors will come back and render the right decision because it's so clear on the videotape of how everything went down, even including the object that the officers dropped on side of Mr. Scott as he laid on his stomach with the bullets in his back, died. So I'm looking at him when he said it, and I'm like, well, what inside of his family member, and it was a male family member, what would make him state that he felt that on a majority white jury with one black female, when she's outnumbered, you have faith in them to render the right decision? When these people haven't rendered a right decision, hell, in 400 and something years, but maybe he saw something that I didn't see that allowed him to make that statement. I don't know. Maybe he felt as though that with the evidence proven and the image that white people carry in America, and it's an image of being upright, fair, and balanced, and those are words that they learn how to use, that in their hearts they would do what their mouths say, and that has yet to be proven. The rhetoric is just good soundbite for television, but the actual action to stand behind those words and render justice is something that they refuse to do. So we, as a people, have to get out of trusting without the actions that's evident towards whatever topic, subject, or material thing that we desire, or things that we seek. We have to look at mathematics. We have to do our due diligence in the statistics so we can weigh this thing out, so we can make sure that we don't we're not taken advantage of, or that we don't leave our faith in the hands of people who have shown us time and time again that our best interest is not in the forefront of their thinking or their endeavors in life. That's the job for us. That's our job. So we don't want to get involved in believing in a mystery God, believing in it just because we feel good about a situation, then the universe is gonna drop what we want right into our lap in its physical form, and then we'll all shout hooray. That's living in a fantasy world. I'm sorry. Even the fact that you say that you waiting on Jesus to return to earth riding on a cloud, that is fantasy. I'm sorry. It doesn't happen like that. You know, that's a fantasy that was given to us by the creator of falsehood and fantasies. So stop falling for the fantasy. You dig? So, basically, and the whole purpose, well, I guess what we're gathering, what we're trying to get at is, you have to go through incidents with a fine-tooth comb, and you have to get your hands dirty and put them in that soil and that dirt to extract the artifacts. And what I mean by that is you have to do your due diligent work carefully if you want to retrieve the effect that you desire. You can't lean off of a mindset of I hope it will be and expect hardcore facts or evidence to appear. It doesn't work like that. You actually have to do the work, find out, investigate, make sure that you get the desired results, because if not, then you're putting your fate in the hands of those who mean you harm, or doesn't mean you any good at all, and does not want to see the your not rise, but your greatness come to fruition. So, on that note, make sure that you oversee your endeavors with mathematics, science, and truth by your side. That way you can be satisfied with the result, because you pound that pavement to make sure that your voice was heard, and to make sure that you presented whatever subject you presented it in a way that you're comfortable with, and to where you can say, hell, only a fool wouldn't see the obvious. So another one, officer gets off. I mean, this theme is so common in America, and the root of it personally, my personal opinion, is the fact that through all of the negative connotations and stereotypes that's been portrayed upon black people in America, and that's including male and female, that it's in white people's subconscious mind to automatically believe what they view in the media since grade school of negative depiction of blacks purposely done to render that said result that they wanted the population to believe in. I personally believe that it was done by design. And so whenever an encounter with a person of color or with a non-white person, as Dr. Neely Fuller would say, with a non-white person, then the lack of concern for that life is great. So pulling that trigger is not something that they would think twice about, because in their mindset they feel that they are Superman and that they are saving the world from the evil villain who's here to harm white females and to harm elderly white people. And so in their mindset, I am Captain America and I will protect you all against the black male who's trying to take over Gotham or trying to destroy this America that we stole from the Native American, that we cherish so deeply. And it's, come on. Can we deal with reality? Everybody of every nationality and color knows for a fact that every black man is not out and does not want a white woman and is not out trying to rob and steal from white people. If you believe that, you're an idiot. You got black men out here who love black women and who do not, under any circumstances, want to marry a white female. Not judging those who do, because that's their politics and that's their reality. You know, I don't know, do you? I'm saying for the millions upon millions of black men who love black women and who are married to a black woman, don't want to have anything to do with his woman. That's his woman and that's their business. So we don't want to over exaggerate the few and make the few seem as though it's the majority, and then put energy into the few and then neglect the majority. This is Verbal Pick Radio. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Make sure you all download the app, the Spreaker.com. We put content up as the spirit hits us. We put the content up and we share different views and opinions with you all. But we would like to be in tune with the onward march of justice, whether it's hip hop for justice, whether it's justice or else, whether it's the fight to bring justice to black people in particular and humanity as a whole, then that is what we do. Shout out to my boy Low Key, Young Pruitt, Hummer 2G, Marcus Mudd, them boys from the 6, you know, KCOG, man, it's all good. Hey, graphics, definitely, man, we putting it down, man, it's all good. Cold Black, Vince Cole Muhammad, we out.